Hello, welcome back to the Crafty Organizer. I'm Noreen Burke, and today I'm going to show you a different type of storage for your markers. Let's get started. The other day I was really excited to show you how to create a storage system where you could have your pens either vertically or horizontally, and they could be interchangeable. If you missed that video, go ahead and check it out. It's in the description below. But in that, I gave a teaser for a notebook idea. I wanted to see if you were interested in it, and I'm so happy to say that you guys were very excited to see what I did. So here it is. This is just a notebook that could sit on your shelf. This is just a 3-inch binder, but what I love about all of the things I try and bring you is you can customize it to what your specific needs are. But let's take a look at what's inside of this book. So again, it's just a 3-inch binder, but you can see I have some pages inside that are holding art supplies. I've made these out of foam core, and I'm going to show you 3 different variations on what you can do. So let's take a quick look at this notebook. I'm hoping this is going to be a good solution for a lot of you that don't have a lot of storage space. These sheets are made out of foam core, and I'm using the same band of elastic to use variations. So this first variation is for larger items like scissors, tubes of paint, larger items that you need to have access to that you could just pull out and slide right back in. The second option I'm going to show you, you've already seen in the example, and that is the Copics. And thank you for all the responses saying I was saying it correctly. I couldn't tell if it was Copic or if it rhymed with topic, but Copic is what I got. What I like about using this method is you can color swatch, and this doesn't have to be the Copics. This method can be used for any marker that you have. The last option I'm going to show you is for smaller items that's double-sided and adjustable so that if you change what you're storing in there, you can go ahead and fix it. Let's get started on how to make these. Now, honestly, any type of storage you have works. If you have them in buckets, in their original cases. I love these makeup drawers because you can honestly fit a lot in there, but they're not usually long enough for the longer pens. Here's where I start with the foam core. I always suggest getting your supplies together first so that you know what you need. In this case, I knew I had about 30 pencils, so I just went ahead and started marking every ½ inch. Now this will depend on what size marker or pen you have, so make sure you size it just slightly bigger than what you're going to be storing on this page. So basically what we're going to be doing is with an X-Acto knife, we're going to be slicing into the foam core and weaving in some elastic to hold these things in place. My elastic was about 5/8 of an inch, so I took my chalk marker and I just placed a line on my ruler so that I was making the same consistent width of a cut all the way down my sheet. That mark made it super easy for me to just slide all the way down and keep them consistent. A few of them I got a little bit excited about and made bigger, but it really won't hurt the design at all. It just helped me to also keep them straight as I went all the way down the foam core. Once that was done, I did go through the backside just to make sure everything was cut through, but then it was ready to get my elastic. Use some sort of poker, maybe a wooden skewer. I actually have a little ice pick tool to help push the elastic through. But on this first one, all you're going to do is pull in and out so that every other slot has a hoop. Now, be warned, if you have any type of sensitivity to sounds, the sound of that elastic pulling through the foam core is a little bothersome. So if you have any type of sensitivities, be warned, have some music playing, or maybe have someone else do this step for you. It pulls through very easily. You just have to keep adjusting a little bit at a time to get them to feed through all of the way. Now, something I regret not doing is putting my pens in immediately because adjusting them all at the end made it a little bit more difficult. So I recommend putting the pens in as you go. Now that I'm at the end, I just hot glue the end to the other side so that my elastic doesn't ever slip off. Make sure you use a tool to press it down so you don't burn yourself. But here's where I had to go through and then adjust every single little loop. So learn from my mistake, put the pens in first so that you get your elastic tension set up correctly. But you notice I didn't attach the second end, and I'm so thankful that I hadn't done that, because once I was all done, I was able to pull the excess and have a nice, consistent tension for all of my pencils to stay in place. Now that I have that nice and tight, I can go ahead and glue that and keep it attached at the end. I chose to not glue mine. I attached it folded over with a small binder clip so that if I ever do add something else I'm showing you here, I can adjust the tension again and use it for something different. Now I'm going to show you the cut for a larger item. And this one is going to be a little bit different. So once again, I'm marking the spaces. But what I'm going to end up doing is cutting two narrow slots, kind of like an equal sign, spaced between them. Because what I'm going to do is weave the elastic in and out with only one loop. Now, because the small area is more narrow, please apply some sort of tape to both sides to make sure that this is strong enough to hold the elastic. I'm going to repeat the same technique, except this time I'm going to use the bottom of my ruler to help me guide. And I would cut and then go 1/4 inch down and cut again. And I did this spaced out for all of the slots. I think I had 6 slots for this one. So as you can see, there's double slots all the way through. And now I'm ready for the elastic on this one. So here's what I do. From the top portion, I push down on the first slot, creating a larger loop. And then I just come up from the other side right next to that 1/4 inch slot to pull up. The back side of this will not be usable. We're only doing this on the front side for the larger stored items. So I'm just going to keep repeating this, going up and down with the tiny unusable loop on the back and the large loop on the top. Keep this a little bit loose so that you can fit the item in, or once again, check the tension as you go by placing the item inside. But here you can see the back side, which is what we will not be using. And the front side, where we will be using our storage, is nice long loops. Repeat this technique going underneath the narrow loop all the way down to the end. As I was going through, I was doing my best to make sure that the elastic was straight and even. I really wanted to make sure that the tension I had was also consistent so that things going inside would hold well, but not so tight that I had a difficult time getting in. So check it as you go to make sure that it's a nice consistent tension for holding your supplies. Now that I've gotten to the end, I'm not going to cut off my elastic until I've placed in my items, because I do want to have the ability to correct the tension before I cut it off and glue it to the ends. But I'm really excited about this because I can just pull and those scissors aren't going anywhere. Now that I know my tension is correct and the back is perfect, I can go ahead and cut off and just glue the flaps over. This last technique was my favorite because frankly, it was the easiest. Here I'm going to use a glue gun. Now this will not be adjustable, so know that going in. And when I did mine, once again, I allowed the tension to be too loose. So keep in mind, have your supply in each loop so that you know the tension and you can fix it right away if it's not set up correctly. So here's what I did. I got that same piece of elastic, and for this one, the example was my Copics, but I'm just gluing down the loops for each item so that I can slip it in. I start off by gluing the elastic at the top and folding it over so it definitely doesn't go anywhere. Please use a tool so that you don't burn your fingers. So here's where I get my groove going. I figured out that by using whatever tool you have to hold down the previous point of glue and then sliding in the pen, putting a new dab of glue next to it so that it's perfectly spaced out, and then pushing it down with your finger. Then take your tool, go over the pen, and hold it in place. I know that doesn't make sense. Watch. So I've got it. I'm putting down the glue, and I'm going to wrap it around, hold it with my finger, and then use the tool to keep it in place. This method worked so much better. You see, I put the pen aside. I can hold it, transfer over, slide the pen. This method was super quick and allowed me to absolutely lock in the pens, but also allowed the glue to hold, and it dries really quickly. But look how these are so tightly in. Then when I get to the end, I just once again cut off the excess, and I flap it over on both sides so that that little strip of elastic isn't going anywhere. Now for making the spine, take a piece of tape and put it on both sides of whichever end you want to have as your 3-ring binder holes. This will strengthen it and make sure that it lasts. If you're worried about it breaking, you could put a second layer on each side. I used a page protector I already had, and I used a Sharpie just to mark where the holes should be. Now I tried a 3-ring binder. It was too thick, so I had to use my Crop-A-Dile. If you have a larger hole punch, I strongly recommend using something larger. And then I can just slip it right into the binder. And if you want to use color swatches, it certainly is a fun way to use this. Now I'm going to go ahead and do the same process with the other 3, marking where the holes should go and putting them in. And you can use whatever technique you want. Here I'm just lining them up and marking it. The 3-hole punch did not work for me, so when I was using my Crop-A-Dile, I did put 2 holes next to each other, so it was just slightly bigger. But if you have one of the hole punches that's bigger around, I strongly recommend using that. And if you have the ability to put a grommet around, that would have been my first choice because then it will be super strong, but I didn't have that option. Now that it's all done, I can slide it into my notebook. You guys, I am really excited about the possibilities with this. You can have this as just your mini little craft space, or you could start breaking down the supplies completely by binder. But I was shaking this, I was flinging it in and out to test it, and I only had a couple of the pens and pencils fly because, as I said, I wasn't doing a great job working with the tension initially. So you want to make sure you have just enough tension so that it slides in a little bit snugly so that it won't fall out. Now I want to talk about the panels again. There were so many comments. I really am excited that you found this to be a great idea, but I wanted to talk about a couple of other things. Many of you mentioned the Spectrum Noir pens. I only have the glitter pens. From what I could tell, they fit in about 1/3 of the way in, but I think the Spectrum Noir actual markers are thicker all the way through, so I am not sure if this fits in or not. I'm going to go get one from Hobby Lobby this week and test it, and I will let you know. The other thing I want to mention is many of you said, well, can you cut things out for it to fit a larger sized item? And the answer is yes, but I wouldn't cut out just small squares. I think it would be really difficult. So if you have a larger item that you want to fit in, I would cut around the shape of it and then use your cutters to cut them out. But this was a little bit more difficult to cut out the inside. I had to go from both sides just to get that out. It was definitely much easier cutting off an end. But as you can see, it is possible. Having said that, those little holes on the inside are sharp, so please be careful. If you can sand them down, otherwise maybe you can put some tape around it just to protect you from those sharper edges. Now, the last thing I want to say about these is so many of you were excited about using this as a pegboard, and I'm excited about that too, but it is plastic and I don't know yet how much weight it can hold. So please be mindful. I'm going to be testing this weekend just to see how much weight you can put on it, but plastic does get brittle over time. So try and keep things lightweight. Use it for small supplies like pens, pencils, markers, scissors, light things like that should be okay on here, but I think it still is a great solution, and it also leads me into something super excited that I want to announce. If you haven't already heard, guess who I'm doing a collaboration with?
Hi guys, it's Sherry. I hope that you are having a wonderful day.
Sherry and I are super excited to work together. Her talents are incredible. She can take the simplest cardboard piece and turn it into the most professional looking high quality item. So I am super excited to work with her. We're going to be bringing you an amazing storage solution with her design ideas. It's going to be an unbelievable collaboration. So please make sure to hit subscribe. Check out her channel. I've got the link in the description below, and keep the 15th open to watch our video. I cannot wait to read your comments about this. I'm really excited about these solutions and I hope they work for you, but as always, tweak it and make it your own. It doesn't matter what anyone suggests, find something that works for you, your supplies, and your situation. I am going to get my second vaccination today. I'm really excited about doing that. It'll make me feel a lot more confident getting to go out and see people, but it means I may or may not get to make my next video. I know a lot of people have had different reactions, so if I don't get to make one before, I wanted to say Happy Mother's Day to all of you. Whether you have an adoptive child, stepchild, your own child, fur child, feathered child, I want to say Happy Mother's Day to you. If you have nurtured, cared for, and raised anything at all, that makes you someone who deserves a special thanks and special day. That's all I have for today. A special thanks to my patrons who make these videos possible and allow me to keep getting closer to that RV dream. Oh, I cannot wait to hop in it and start driving around and meeting you and helping you get organized. So if you're interested in becoming a patron, that information is down in the description below. I'll see you guys in just a few days. Bye.